You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Face to face with illusion, loss, deception, will we let go? Daily horoscope for Monday and Tuesday, October 2nd through the 3rd, 2023. Good morning, friends. A few reminders before we get into it. Thank you to those who submitted a question for the Fun and For You tarot card reading. I will be recording that this week and hopefully getting it published soon, so keep your eyes out for it. Also, if you haven't done so already, please check out the new referral program to earn rewards for sharing the newsletter. It's a lovely way to support me and my work, plus it benefits you as well and helps the community to grow. Okay, let's get into the astrology. All times are in Eastern Time unless mentioned otherwise. On Monday, the moon is in Taurus all day, and usually I spend the early time before I start to write studying astrology, but this morning I found myself watching skincare videos. The first was about how millennials don't seem to be aging the same way as the generations before them or after them, and the second about how you should never pop your pimples because they could lead to serious and possibly life-threatening infections. This is no joke, seriously, click the link and watch the video. Now, I'm sharing this as a public service announcement not only because I was licensed as an esthetician a million years ago, but because the moon is in Taurus. Taurus is a sign ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet that governs beauty, makeup, fashion, and aesthetics. Venus and the moon will have a lot to do with how you care for and nurture your body, and that includes your skincare routine. Taurus is a sign associated with the senses, the material world, and luxury. When the moon is in Taurus, it is only natural to be thinking about our skincare routines and how we beautify and adorn ourselves to look and feel more luxurious. Taurus is also a sign concerned with food, exercise, and sleep, and we all know how those three things can affect how we look and feel. So the moon will be in Taurus all of Monday. The first transit of Monday is actually not one of the moons, but of Mercury's. Mercury in Virgo will oppose Neptune in Pisces retrograde at 11:34 a.m., symbolizing a decision, a dilemma, or a standoff between the Mercurial energy and the Neptunian energy, which could result in feeling confused, uncertain, or hypersensitive. Mercury represents things like communication, our thought processes, and written information of all kinds, news, texts, emails, books, etc. Neptune represents things that are elusive, deceptive, or deal with loss, confusion, and chaos, as well as idealism. There could be news of scandal and deception. This transit could represent miscommunication, gullibility in our personal lives, or a period of wishful thinking. We could be trying to think logically, methodically, and statistically about something, but be on the fence because of something spiritual, otherworldly, or supernatural, and we may find ourselves needing to decide between this logic and reason or the seemingly magical and anecdotal realities, as well as the real versus the ideal. Or we could have plenty of things to do, places to go, and people to meet, but we have a dreamy idea about reading a good book, watching a movie, and chilling out instead. This transit is going to fall right in the middle of my homeschool day today, and I wonder how it will manifest with my kids. Maybe today is a good day for an educational movie or a lot of art. Which planet will win this transit? With an opposition, it's fair game. Then at 11:57 a.m., the moon in Taurus conjoins Uranus in Taurus retrograde, and this may represent a curveball, something you didn't even think about or consider coming in and spicing things up a bit. The moon and Uranus together are unpredictable. In the afternoon at 1:50 p.m., the moon then forms a quincunx to Mars in Libra, indicating something hitting you with a sort of mind-blowing effect, like not realizing that you could die from popping a pimple, and it's like you have this sort of, no, I don't want to believe it to be true moment. Mars in Libra wants to unite with others to accomplish their missions, and the moon in Taurus is concerned with how things feel and look, so there could be a discrepancy between what you thought to be real with the way something looks or the agreed-upon consensus. Almost like finding out that your favorite celebrity or military person, we are talking about Mars here, has some work done, and you can't believe it. Of course, this transit can also indicate conflict and stress due to having to deal with a situation or be a good team player about something when you don't really want to, and you'd rather be on vacation, lounging by the pool. The best we can hope for with this one is for diplomacy and tact to win out. At 2:45 p.m., Venus makes harmonious aspects to the nodes, and then at 2:59 p.m., the moon makes frustrating aspects to the nodes. This little back-to-back song and dance between Venus and the moon and the nodes feels like we are feeling good about something Venusian, our looks, our money, our relationships, and then we realize that there are hurdles, obstacles, and delays in the path. This could be as simple and mundane as needing to wash your face before applying makeup or having to edit the audio for your podcast before you can publish it. It doesn't have to be extreme or life-changing for the archetypes to speak. About 2 hours after this, the moon in Taurus then perfects the square to Venus in Leo, symbolizing that whatever thing you are trying to manifest here will happen. With a little bit of effort and push, you can get that face washed and that makeup applied. The audio edited and published, but it requires action. You can beautify yourself so that you feel more luxurious and regal with a little effort. The moon square Venus can also indicate conflicts at home, disharmony between family members, especially women, and just feeling a bit at odds with your sensuality, sexuality, or relationship, and needing to take action towards something real, tangible, and earthy. Taurus also symbolizes food, and this transit may manifest as something as simple as deciding that you want to cook a meal that is a little bit more bougie than usual. So you may put in the work to make a dish that not only tastes good, but looks good too. They do say we eat first with our eyes, right? In the evening at 5:46 p.m., the moon forms a sextile to Neptune in Pisces retrograde, and this is interesting because we started out the day with Mercury in an opposition to Neptune, and that transit will permeate the whole day, right? So when the moon meets up with Neptune in a harmonious sextile by the end of the day, I feel this represents that we have made a decision about whatever dilemma or uncertainty we were feeling earlier. Or at least some progress has been made, and now we have an opportunity to kind of smooth it over. It could also symbolize desiring relaxation in the evening, maybe a nice meal, bath, and some soothing music before bed. And finally, we have a grand Earth trine, which starts to really manifest in the later evening between the Moon, Mercury, and Pluto. Mercury is only 1 degree away from perfecting a trine to Pluto in Capricorn, which will perfect on Tuesday at 3:19 p.m. And on Monday night, the Moon in Taurus will first make a trine to Mercury at 6:41 p.m. and then to Pluto at 9:19 p.m., transferring the light between the two planets and forming the grand trine. Mercury trine Pluto in Earth signs can bring about profound insights, change in the way a person thinks, or a deeper understanding of the truth, and this may be very real and tangible. The moon activating this trine on Monday night before the aspect between Mercury and Pluto perfects means that we may start to see things pop up in the news that embody these archetypes. Reports about investigations that have new evidence that really changes things, or intense experiences regarding travel or young adults, as Mercury represents news, communication, travel, and young people, and Pluto symbolizes things that are usually hidden and transformational experiences. On Tuesday, the moon will ingress into Gemini right away at 1:03 a.m., and this will bring in a new rush of information, facts, and data, especially in regard to whatever Mercury trine Pluto will expose. The moon in Gemini is very curious, talkative, and youthful. Therefore, it is also a time of playfulness, sociability, and investigation. The very first transit that the moon in Gemini will perfect is a square to Saturn in Pisces retrograde, symbolizing very serious information, communications, and knowledge coming about that can be challenging, discordant, and create emotional tension. Whatever you may be thinking or feeling on Tuesday, Saturn will apply intense pressure thereto. If your knowledge is sound and can be proven, then it will not falter under the weight of Saturn's heavy rays. But if your facts are gathered out of thin air and have no substance to them, they will be smothered and smashed by Saturn. We could see this in the news as well, with serious accusations, data, or investigative reporting coming out that either backs things up or blows up fake facades. Then in the afternoon on Tuesday, Mercury in Virgo perfects his trine to Pluto in Capricorn retrograde, who is sitting on the USA's natal Pluto, remember? So we could definitely hear or read about probing investigations and deep information being exposed. People may experience a change in attitude or the way they think about things because of this information. It's like we get to look under the rug with this transit and see what has been swept under there. Because Pluto is on the USA's natal Pluto in the Declaration of Independence chart, this could pertain a lot to the United States. Personally, we may experience this transit as a transformation in our own thinking about something, or an intense conversation that gets to the bottom of the issue. It may be a powerful journey, conversation, or message. Whatever it ends up being, it will be quick, yet methodical and solid, as the trine represents quickness and the element of earth indicates something tangible and materialistic. On Tuesday evening, the moon in Gemini forms a sesquiquadrate to Mars in Libra at 6:07 p.m., then makes frustrating aspects to the nodes at 7 p.m., followed by a trine to the sun in Libra at 8:03 p.m. What this all says to me is that now that we have this new information that has blown our minds in some way and changed the way we think about something, there is still red tape and hoops that we have to jump through. The road that we have been traveling on may have changed, but the trine between the moon and the sun indicates it's the right road. And finally, on Tuesday, the last transit of the day is Venus in Leo, forming a quincunx to Neptune in Pisces retrograde, which symbolizes being in a state of disbelief, loss, or confusion. Whatever big news comes up this week, it is a bit hard to wrap our minds around and integrate into ourselves because it may create fundamental changes to our values and relationships. The quincunx is an odd angle that represents sudden change and separation, and between Venus in the fixed sign of Leo and Neptune in the mutable sign of Pisces, this feels like our core values are being tested and questioned. Are they real? Were they made up of a false ideal? Do we actually know what we like and love? Is it the same as before? Is it okay to change what we love and value? It could be very confusing, and we could be scratching our heads a lot this week as we face the mirage, propaganda, or illusion that is exposed for what it truly is. Mercury opposite Neptune, followed by Mercury trine Pluto, and finally Venus quincunx Neptune. And when Mercury ingresses into Libra on Wednesday, joining the Sun, it's going to get judicial. There will be lawsuits, and the pursuit of justice will be in full force. I have not even looked at the news yet today, but I know that when I do, these archetypal energies will be everywhere. Liars won't stand a chance with these transits. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? 8 of Cups reversed. On this card, we see a person in a red cloak walking away from 8 cups on the side of a large stream. There is a crescent moon in the background, representing taking those first small steps based on the new seeds of intention that were set with the past new moon. In the upright position, this card is about giving everything to others and feeling like you do not have anything left emotionally to nurture yourself. It can bring up feelings of depression, gloominess, and lethargy because we are so tired of carrying all this emotional stuff. And it is about leaving a draining situation. In the reverse position, this card is still about feeling drained emotionally, but it's also about feeling sorry for yourself, and it represents the need to make an emotional change in order to see a new outcome. As the card for the day, I feel this represents the need to look within to what lies we've been telling ourselves that we may need to abandon and walk away from. Or what boundaries or emotional responses do you have that have been on autopilot but are no longer serving your highest good? It could be very emotional, but it's time to sever the attachment to these stories, boundaries, and default responses and do something else, something different, something better instead. I've been listening to a great book on Audible that ties into this perfectly. It's called Awaken to Your True Self, Why You're Still Stuck, and How to Break Through by Andrew Daniel. And it has been really eye-opening and thought-provoking, but more importantly, it's an action-oriented book, and I really appreciate that. A lot of self-help type books give you a lot to think about, but not so much to actually do. This one is different in that it tries to shatter old realities and ways of thinking by taking real actions. And as a plus, Andrew Daniel is a great author, and I've really enjoyed his writing. I am listening to the book, but I think I may have to get my hands on a physical copy so that I can copy down some of his insights, because they are so good. Some of the things I want to copy are quotes by others, and some are his own ways of phrasing things that are not only helpful, but beautifully written. One quote that I had to look up right away was by Rumi, of course, one of my favorite poets of all time, and it was, "Forget safety, live where you fear to live, destroy your reputation, be notorious." I love this because it is about living, really living. And I didn't take it to mean being reckless and irresponsible or actually dwelling in a bad place where your life is threatened for real, but rather to live life from a place of daring, curiosity, and courage. Being willing to do things differently, try new things, expand your heart and mind, and live, really live. It's so easy to get settled into a routine that over time saps you of your livelihood and brings you closer to boredom and death each day. To hell with that. Let's live and feel alive. Let's be notorious for being alive. Of course, this ties in perfectly to the astrology as always, in that this card and this quote represents the Mercury opposite Neptune and Mercury trine Pluto, coming eye to eye with a lie, a deception, an illusion, or a default emotional program, and then going through a very profound, powerful, transformational change in our attitudes, ways of thinking, and communicating, letting go of old emotional responses surrounding an old reality as we shift into new ones. A powerful new beginning indeed. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, AstroMommy. Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Universal Waite Tarot deck available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.